Okay, and we are back. So talking about Joker. Welcome to our YouTube channel.
YouTube video. Should we intro a video? First video of our faces.
This is our first video. Not playing games. Yes. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Gonna splice up some parts of the podcast and put them on YouTube. So make it more accessible to the people.
Yeah, we're gonna have the link to the podcast in the YouTube video. So you can watch everything. You just listen to us if you think we're ugly.
Okay, so we're talking about Joker today. We both went and saw it over the weekend. The newest superhero comic book movie, even though you wouldn't really say it's a comic book superhero
villain
movie. Super villain, you're correct.
And not comic book either.
Do you want to start with our scale, or do you want to start with an overall review of the movie?
So let's do overall review. What were your thoughts on it, Jason? Because you have not said a word to me, which is very unlike you. So I know they're probably going to be negative.
They're not negative. Look, I can't sit here and say that Joker was a bad movie.
Okay.
I can't sit here and say that, you know. And I found myself kind of wanting to believe it was a bad movie. I don't know why, just because I wanted to be different, but I'm not going to lie and do that. It's not a bad movie.
Okay.
I do think it missed in some points, and I do think it was very overhyped in some points.
Okay.
It was a very character-driven movie. That's without question.
100%.
And, you know, it was good. It was good. I found it dragging. I found myself a little bit bored at times. I'm going to be honest. And it was just, yeah.
Okay. So I don't disagree with anything you're saying.
Okay.
It was a very different movie than what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be much more comic booky, much more Joker involved.
And that's the expectation I didn't want to have, because I knew that wasn't going to be it.
Yeah.
Even though I said leading up to it that I was worried that would be the case, I still expected it.
Yeah. But it was a very different movie than I was expecting. But it was goddamn good. And I think it was very artsy. It was very much a movie maker's movie.
That was almost kind of part of one of my complaints about it.
Which is a valid point to make. I liked it.
I think at some points, and I saw this I read a lot of the reviews, positive and negative, and someone put this, and I kind of agreed with it, so I'm just going to take their words. I don't know who said it. It almost felt like it became a parody of itself at times. Like, I felt like this watching the movie, I felt like at times they were trying, because you know that they wanted to make like a good artsy movie, and I feel like at times they were trying too hard to make this Martin Scorsese like film that doesn't, you know what I mean? I just felt like sometimes they tried too hard, and it's like, I don't know. It just felt like instead of creating their own thing, it was just kind of like, I don't know.
I mean,
if that makes sense in any way.
It slightly does, but I disagree with it. I really do. I think it was a great movie. I thought the story was good, and it left a lot of questions to be asked afterwards.
Well, that was intentional, as they made it a very ambiguous movie with an ambiguous ending.
Yeah, and I like that.
I like that too. Like that. Riley didn't like it. I like that too about it. I kind of expected it to be like that. One thing I will say is Riley's coworker brought up this point to Riley, and she said it to me, and I kind of felt it in a way. If this was a movie just about someone with schizophrenia or someone with that laughing disorder and wasn't the Joker, and it was the exact same movie minus the Batman references, would it be as hyped as it is? I don't know.
The hype leading up to it, no. But I still think it would be a great film.
It would be, yeah.
I think the film by itself, whether you name him Joker or he says, call me fucking whatever the fuck you want to call him.
I would say that pre-hype, though, does lead into some of the reviews of the movie. As you can see by like the critical reviews, where it's not getting great critical reviews, but the audience score. Because I feel like naturally viewers will take that hype and like the movie no matter what. I'm not saying in all cases, but...
But with that being said, I think critics will take that it's a comic book movie and shit on it
absolutely.
no matter what.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think it's going to raise the audience score, but it's going to lower the critic score.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in between of where it's at, because they're vastly different, and you usually don't see it that way. You usually don't see the audience. Well, with like comedies you do, but not a movie of this caliber.
Yeah. One thing, huge media issue with the movie before its release. Oh, it's going to influence a shooter.
Yeah. What
was your opinion on that?
It was profoundly exaggerated.
Explain.
Why didn't everyone think of this when The Dark Knight Rises is the one that happened. Why didn't anyone say that when Joker appeared in Suicide Squad, or when they made Batman versus Superman? Like, why is it this movie in particular that would influence a shooter? If anything, you could argue that this kind of brought to light like kind of social issues and everything. And I guess you could make the case that it can make someone feel okay for doing these kind of things. But we see that in movies all the time. So it's okay to go watch a movie about World War II and watch someone to blow their brains out, but because it doesn't fit that narrative, it's suddenly provocative to our youth.
No, I get where you're coming from. I was very much on the side of the media is playing this up, and that's almost as if they want it to fucking happen before I watch the movie. I think I flipped. Because I think what this movie was based on was someone who's misunderstood.
Yeah.
Someone who didn't get attention, everyone overlooked him, and then he fucking murders people.
Yeah.
And everyone starts praising him. He's getting all the media attention, just like mass shooters fucking will.
Yeah.
And it's very much someone who was a nobody until he started murdering people.
That could be a statement on society nowadays.
It was, and I think there's two sides to it, because I think that was that side, someone who's fucked up in the head and has issues and wants to, you know, do shootings and shit.
Yeah.
Sees that and is, I'm going to become a hero to some people if I do this. The other half of it was the social commentary, to where Joker very much fucking said it. It's not even like you have to like look into it. It was very much what he said on the show.
Yeah.
At the end, where it was like, people like you treat me like shit and don't give a second thought about it.
Yeah.
It was like, you invited me on the show just to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And so there was that half to where you need to fucking treat people better. You can't just be an asshole to people.
Yeah.
So I think there's two, but I will say I understand if people think that it's an issue as far as influencing.
But I feel like it's exaggerated just because it's the Joker. Because I feel like there's many movies that have unstable characters that, you know, do this kind of manner, but because of the Joker and because of the past shootings being related to the Joker, it, you know.
No, I agree with that for sure. But I think it's kind of in the same situation where like 13 Reasons Why almost like glorified doing like the suicide and then fucking blaming people for it and everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, you know, people talking about that and people kind of wanting it to cancel the show.
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of same thing, to where it almost glorified someone killing people and doing whatever the fuck they want and being praised for it. Well, and I do think it's overplayed because it is the Joker, but I see that aspect of it and I don't think it's wrong.
Yeah, to kind of go with what you're saying too, is this movie was very grounded in reality. It wasn't a superhero movie, so I guess you could make that case too. Like, there wasn't any, you know, there wasn't anything comic book like. This was the movie that was grounded in reality. You know, Gotham just looked like New York City. I mean, I forgot they were in Gotham until they like mentioned Gotham. I was like, oh, they're in New York City. Yeah. And it's just, so I could see that, but I still think it's a little, I don't know, it's okay. It's never bad to be cautious with these kind of things, but I don't know. Does this Joker movie sway one person? Maybe it does. I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't know if it does or not, but I understand that part of it. Do I think that they still should have made the movie? Do I still think it's a great fucking movie? 100%. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to discredit it, but going off of that, there was a lot of, you know, Oscar buzz and everything for Joaquin Phoenix and all this. When we look back to last year, the comic book movie that got nominated for Best Picture was Black Panther. Right? Yeah. Now we go off of that.
Doesn't deserve it, but yeah.
But with that, it didn't deserve it, but the social thing surrounding
implications
with, you know, the African American community and everything kind of bumped it up. Yeah. Do you think this bumps Joker down?
For Joaquin Phoenix, no.
For the movie itself? For the movie itself. Todd Phillips as Best Director even?
I don't know if Todd Phillips gets a...
I'm just saying...
I think this movie was very driven by Joaquin Phoenix's performance.
I agree with that.
I think Todd Phillips did a good job. I can't discredit him, but I don't think Todd Phillips did anything to elevate Joaquin Phoenix. I think Joaquin Phoenix did everything to elevate Todd Phillips' story, because if you get the wrong guy in this role, this movie's not good.
That's shit.
So I don't know if he gets Best Director. I don't think it hurts Joaquin Phoenix just because, I don't know, the first Joker didn't. And I mean, that was before the shooting and everything. I feel like that'll be separated from the issue itself. Whereas they can look at the overall movie as something where they don't want to nominate it maybe. But for Joaquin Phoenix's performance, I mean, I don't watch usually any of the other movies that are
That's
nominated.
That's my issue too, is I don't watch the Oscar winning movies. But I just thought it was interesting thinking of it, you know, the comic book movie that got nominated was boosted by the social thing going around it. I think this one could be dragged down by what's going on.
I could see the movie as a whole. I don't know if Joaquin gets punished for it, especially him too, because he's already, I believe, an Academy Award winning, at least nominated. I know he was nominated for Her.
Yeah.
So he's already like an established, and that helps him too. It's an established guy who's, you know, kind of in with the Academy already.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think with that though, let's get into
our movie rating scales. Our fail proof. If you don't know, we have a movie rating scale. We break it out into 5 categories, ranked to 100, gives us
20 points,
ranked to 20.
Yeah, 20 points in 5 categories for a total score of 100.
And it's pretty efficient.
I mean, it's top notch. Some would say the best in the business.
What's the first category?
First
Tyler? What'd
category
you
is
give it?
plot/story. And I gave it an 18.
And I know this is where we're going to differ.
I gave it an 18.
I gave it a 14. That's low. I know.
It's very low. Now, for me, the reason I gave it an 18 was not just the story that we saw on screen,
Yeah.
but I loved the ambiguity of it.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think that added to it so much. And I think it was a good story where you see this guy who starts out and, you know, he's just trying to make people happy. That's all he fucking wants, is to make people happy. He's a clown. He, you know, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. He wants to take care of his mom.
Yeah.
And you see that vision or, you know, the dream of him going on the show originally and everyone praising him for it. And he's just making people happy, you know?
Yeah.
And you see him get pushed farther and farther away from that down a dark spiraling path. And I thought the story was good, but I love that you don't know exact parts of it.
Well, yeah, and they left it open, you know, to talk about the ambiguity. Is
You could say the whole story never even fucking
well,
happened.
because they showed their hand with having the whole fake girlfriend thing, and then, you know, there's the ending where, you know, I'll break down some ending interpretations after.
I got some more questions afterwards for sure.
So there's definitely different ways they did that. And I agree that helps.
What didn't you like about it though? Because you're 4 points lower than me.
The plot and the story. I mean, it was a good. I don't know. I feel like there was some plot holes, and that kind of hurt it for me.
Okay.
There was a few plot holes, but again, and that's, I don't know. They kind of bank on, okay, so one, how does he just walk up to Bruce Banner's mansion? Or, well, not Banner. Bruce Wayne's mansion. Well,
Wayne
Thomas
Banner.
Wayne's mansion.
Yeah.
How does he just walk up and put his hands on Bruce and then, like, choke out Alfred, who I'm pretty sure in, like, the comic books is, like, a former Marine or Navy SEAL or something. Like, I know he has some sort of background. I saw that on a YouTube video.
Is he?
Something, yeah.
I didn't
saw
know
it on a
that.
YouTube video. Another one, how does he just sneak under the guardrail in the protest to go sneak into the thing?
Some would say that's one of Joker's abilities, though, is to incite chaos
And
to where no one knows what the fuck's going on.
But he's not even Joker at that point yet, though. He's not.
Some would say he's Joker at the beginning of the movie.
It's just, you know.
I think he is Joker at that point, though. I think when he becomes Joker is when he kills those 3 guys on the train.
Yeah, but I still, and then another one was, why is Thomas Wayne just on the street during the riot to get killed?
Because that's how it is in the comic books.
Like, well, then that's back on the comic books though, but
he leaves. I mean, I don't think it's during.
well,
a riot
in the comic book,
books.
yeah, but you know this riot's going to happen. You can't even say that it was like a last minute riot. Like you could say it was enticed by Joker, but before when he kills the guy in his apartment, the guy who gives him the gun, I don't remember his name.
Ah, the other clown.
They said like, oh, you're getting ready for the riot tonight because he had the clown makeup on.
Was it a riot? I thought it was like a protest.
Either way, you have a
But
protest. You know these guys are violent and everything. Like, why would you?
You would think they'd have more security for someone who's running for mayor.
Well, why would the guy who's running for mayor even go see a show in the middle of Main
I think he could go
Street
if he had people around him.
when he knows there's a protest going on?
Yeah. There's the protest going on, and then I think what Joker does on the TV, on live television, incites the riot itself. But there's already a protest going on against you, and then you're out in public with no one around you.
Yeah,
I can see that. I honestly...
I feel like it banked on its ambiguity a little bit too much to just kind of get away with these things and just kind of...
That's fine. I don't have an issue with the first or second one. Or last one, I mean. The Wayne Manor.
Oh.
It's absurd that he can just walk up and put his hands on $1 billion child. I didn't like that part. And then at the end, I don't like that they even added that scene into it of them killing the parents and stuff.
Well, I have a reason why. Well, a reason I heard someone else say why.
I just think, I mean, even if they show him leaving the theater, I think everyone knows that scene. Everyone knows what's going to happen. They didn't need to show it.
Yeah.
I think they could have left that ambiguous.
Yeah.
And, you know, they see them walk down an alley. They see the guy pull out the gun and walk behind him. That's all that needed to be showed.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. So that's why, I mean, I gave it an 18. I don't think it was perfect. I agree it had holes, but they weren't as big of holes, in my opinion.
Also, I feel like for a movie that was so grounded in reality, I feel like they would have been at Arthur Fleck's door like right away when those people were killed. Like,
I mean, it was older.
yeah, but they
based
had the
in the
investigators that
70s,
talked to
80s.
him. But you literally have a guy who got fired for having a gun. They have someone that works there that can confirm that he gave him the gun, or at least he knows that he has a gun. And then that night he so happens to get fired. 3 people die from a clown on a train. Like, I don't think they would just ask him questions at that point. I think it'd be like, hey, you're under arrest, buddy.
I mean, maybe, but if they can't prove it, they probably would have arrested
still put him in arrest.
They probably would have arrested him and taken him to ask questions. But I think that's kind of where it relied on the plot of, oh, my mom's in the hospital. I'm not talking to you guys right now. And they kind of were just like, okay.
See, that's kind of weak.
Convenient.
That's kind of weak to me.
I'm not going to argue that. I agree with it. The cops were not very good. But you could also say that there was chaos going on at the time. And they were busy doing other shit.
Yeah, I guess.
If you wanted to find a way to work around it.
Yeah, those two detectives were like only solely on that case, it seemed like. But
I don't think it's perfect. I gave it an 18. But I thought overall it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and then you have the girl that was on the train and heard him like maniacally laughing.
Well, I think
she's
she's the one who gave the description as a clown.
You have a laughing disorder, and then...
Well, I mean, I guess you could go, but still, if he's dressed in clown makeup, they don't know his face. They don't know what he looks like. But then, yeah, if you go and say, hey, there's a dude dressed as a clown who got fired for having a gun.
Yeah.
And just so happened, after he got fired, he went on a train and 3 people died. I mean, yeah.
So, I don't know.
Our next category, visuals/cinematography. Jason, you are taking a cinematography class at the moment.
Yes, I am.
What'd you give it?
I gave it an 18.
I give it a 19.
So, there were some really good scenes. I liked it.
I thought it was one of the most beautifully shot movies I've seen in a minute.
Yeah, it was good.
I don't know why I didn't give it a 20. I feel like it wasn't perfect. I think I would have needed more action scenes or something for it to be 20. Like fight choreography type shit.
Yeah.
But I thought it was shot beautiful. I thought it made you feel like it was from the fucking early 80s.
Yeah.
You felt like you were in that time period.
Really good color grading, yeah.
Yeah, just the vibe of it all. It was dark, fucked up New York. I didn't think it was Gotham, but it felt like a dark, gritty New York. Yeah. And then some of the shots with the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the weird dancing and him in his apartment. And there's a couple of them that were just fucking, they looked amazing.
There was one shot in particular that I remembering. Wow. It's when he goes in the fridge. Was he trying to kill himself? That part was like, they never addressed
just made
it.
Me laugh. That part, I think it was supposed to be like, this is the Joker. He's fucked up in the head. What is he doing?
But I remember just like they moved closer and it seemed like the camera operator like almost dropped the camera and it was all shaky and everything. And I was like, oh, okay.
They left it
I noticed that. Yeah.
I like it. It felt grounded.
Yeah. Grounded in reality.
Yeah, I liked it.
I
do remember noticing that too. And I was like, oh.
I usually don't give this high of a rating for these just because I don't really see that many like critically acclaimed like visual movies. But I thought they did a really good job with just the cinematography and everything.
I agree.
Especially the color grading. That's what I thought was the best.
I thought it worked great. And like when right after he kills those guys and he runs away and he goes to the bathroom, it's like dancing in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That shot, like it was so dark and it's not what a normal fucking bathroom looks like as far as the colors and how they shot it.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he was fucking, just from how it looked, you could see he was losing his shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking great.
It was good.
Next category, key elements.
What'd you give it, Ty?
18.
Okay.
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 16.
Okay. Key elements for this was the gritty movie.
See, that was my problem. I gave it low. I didn't really know what it was like going after.
Okay.
Just being gritty.
Mine was the dark uncomfortableness of it. So some of the shots where he murders his mom.
Yeah.
To where, you know, he's just awkward in the stand-up and you could feel how awkward he was.
They didn't do a good job on that, yeah.
You could feel it, you know?
Yeah.
I gave it some points less. We can talk about it later as far as it was a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was very comic booky.
Well, that kind of
that's where I took away my points.
That kind of goes off my point is like they made a really good movie, but it's almost like they just, you know, they capitalized on the Joker name to make a good movie they wanted with the Joker name. That way it could get widespread. You know, and if you're going to use the Joker name, you got to, I mean, I guess they delivered at the end, but, you know, I don't know.
Not enough.
Yeah. I could see it.
Yeah. That's where I took away from it. But other than that, I think if a movie's good, it's good. It hit its key elements. Whatever they were good.
Okay.
Characters, Jason.
Gave it a 20.
Also gave it a 20.
Like I said, I think this is a character-driven movie, and I think Joaquin Phoenix did everything to elevate this movie, and I think you can't just put anyone in that role.
Yeah, I think it's 100% an award-winning performance. I think that not only that, Thomas Wayne was an asshole. Mm-hmm. The guy acting him, he did a good job in the small amount of time he was there.
Yeah.
I think the mom actor.
I think De Niro knocked it out. I liked De Niro.
De Niro did fucking fantastic. Yeah, I love De Niro in it. Mm-hmm. And I think no one else had big roles, But with what they had, they did good.
Yeah.
The girlfriend, she did a good job playing the girlfriend of the fucking psychotic
Yeah.
dude. And then when he broke into the apartment, that was a great performance of, holy shit, what are you doing here? And she
Yeah.
knows that he's not necessarily, a criminal, but he's someone who's fucked up in the head who could hurt her.
Yeah.
And she showed that really well just in that performance alone.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
And then everything Joaquin Phoenix did.
Well, yeah, this movie's... I don't think... Was there one scene in this movie that Joaquin Phoenix was not in?
No.
I mean, this movie was Joaquin Phoenix. And he just did a great job.
You followed him around the entire movie, I want to say.
And he just did a great job. I will say I know I asked you before, did he do as good of a job as Heath Ledger? And you said it was horizontal. I still
Let's
think...
get to it.
You want to wait?
I want to wait.
Okay.
Because I got a good conversation to go on with it.
Okay. And then enjoyment.
Usually this is my really easy to get a 20. I gave it a 19 because I felt fucking uncomfortable in my seat. And I can't say I want to go back and watch that movie again.
Yeah.
It made me feel uncomfortable in the best way. But it's not something I want to go see that again. It's not Avengers Endgame. It's not Star Wars. It's a chore.
See, I honestly didn't feel that uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm just heartless. I don't know if I was worried about the Dodgers playing in the playoffs.
That might be it.
I gave it a 16. It felt like it dragged at times to me, honestly. It felt like I was almost waiting to be even more uncomfortable. I don't know why. It's just like... I don't know. There was times where it dragged for me, and I was just kind of like, okay, something's going to happen,
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was fine. It was a slow story, and that's just not my kind of story. I
enjoyed the slowness of it, but overall as a movie, I walked out of that theater, and I think I told Victoria when we were walking out, I was like, that was a movie. I was like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I didn't want to go see it again right afterwards.
Oh, no, yeah.
Great movie. Can't say I enjoyed it as much as I do usually, because usually I just hand out 20s like they're
usually
candy on Halloween.
I'm strict on this one. I think I gave Spider-Man an 18.
Yeah.
So I'm more strict. So 16 is still pretty good.
What was your overall score?
84 out of 100.
Damn, really?
Yeah. What was yours?
94.
I knew it would be high.
Which ties it for the highest that we've given a movie overall, but it's going to get dropped down.
What does that give it? 89? 89.
89.
I think. 84 plus 94 divided by 2.
You're a math guy. Math guy.
I'm not the math guy. I'm a journalist. 89. I was right. Call me the math guy.
89, Jason, puts it third on our list.
Oh, really?
Second for our combined ratings.
Okay, it's second on our list then.
Second on our list then, because you refused to do homework.
Behind what, Endgame?
Anchorman. We did not rank Endgame.
We didn't do Endgame?
We have not put Endgame on our list.
We've done Endgame.
No, we haven't. I'm 100% sure we haven't. We talked about it, but we were like, we need to do it to put it on our scale, and we didn't do it. We made our scale after Endgame.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
89, though. Top-notch fucking score.
Spider-Man got 88.5, right?
Yeah, Far From Home. 88.5.
Okay.
And then Good Boys would be next with an 80.
Wow, that's a big drop-off. Points are hard to get on our scale, though.
They're hard to get. Now, I did say I want to go back and talk about a couple things.
Yes.
The ambiguity of it.
Yes.
Did the movie happen? Your opinion.
See, there's two different roads you can go down here.
No, I want to hear him.
Road number 1. Most things happened up until the car crash in the police car.
Okay.
So most things happened. There might be some things that are changed with his,
which
whatever.
they showed us didn't happen.
Yeah. Maybe you can make the case, and I heard this by someone else. I'm not taking credit. I don't remember who it is. I'm sorry, but I liked it. He gets hit by the car. He actually dies in that car accident. And then the rest of it, okay, so there's a movie. Have you ever seen Taxi Driver?
I have not, but I know
Me neither.
Heavily influenced.
Me neither. At the end of Taxi Driver, I guess he dies, but then the last scene is his final thoughts before he dies. That's the interpretation on it. So the interpretation you could take with Joker is he dies, then they pull him out of the car, they're all celebrating him. You know what I mean? So then that's kind of his last death, idea or whatever. Everyone's celebrating him for doing these things because that's all he's wanted his entire life. Because that whole last sequence felt very dreamlike. You know what I mean? They hit a cop car and then they just pull the guy out and they're freaking just praising him and celebrating him and everything. And then that last scene with him in the final psychiatric ward they said it's like a purgatory of sorts. He's just kind of stuck there. He kills the girl and then you just see him running back and forth because he's stuck in that.
I do want to pause you. I forgot to mention this in cinematography. Loved the shot of him in the back of the squad car, just like Heath Ledger's.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
They're almost identical. Heath Ledger was hanging out the window, I believe, in his shot, but they were both side by side running through the streets.
Yeah.
I just thought that was really cool. That's a little homage. Continue.
And then the other one I heard was pretty much that it's kind of hard to determine what's real and what's not real. You could make the case that this isn't real because in The Killing Joke, which has been, I've done some research. I wanted to do some research for this one.
I also did some research. That's why I want to ask you these.
In The Killing Joke, he was like a comedian or whatever, and then he got involved with the mob or something like that. And that was kind of viewed as like Joker's, like if he had a backstory, that'd be the closest thing. In The Killing Joke, he has a line where he says, I think of my past as a multiple choice. You can pick any answer or whatever.
Sometimes I see it this way, others it's different.
So the whole thing is he doesn't really have a backstory. So you could make the case that this movie didn't happen and that the movie is him talking to the psychiatrist. And you could make the case that this Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, is an adult at the same time that Bruce Wayne is an adult. And he made this past up because he wants to, he's always been involved with Batman. That's like the closest, friend he's had, I guess, if you want to say that. Not friend, but closest relationship he's had. So in this version, in this past that he wants to create for himself, that he's thinking, this is the one where he wants to be responsible for Batman. He's thinking of himself as the one that's responsible for making him an orphan and everything, because that's the one that's the funniest to him. That's why at the end he's saying, you want to get it, and that's why he's laughing about it.
I have not heard that one yet, and I like it.
So that's
100% made up in his mind, almost like a romanticizing of
his
where
own
he's
past.
like, I made Batman.
And you could
and that would make the end sequence make sense to where he's fucking being romanticized on top of the car.
Yeah.
Like, I did this. Batman's dead. Parents are dead now. I made Batman.
And you could even make the case that maybe not the whole thing is fake. Maybe the whole thing up until, a certain point where you mark that point is real. And then the rest is kind of like this romanticized version, But I like that version where it's kind of like he's taking responsibility for the Batman.
I like it.
And yeah, I like that interpretation too.
A couple other things I liked. I liked that he was an orphan.
Yeah.
Because it still gives us that we don't really know his origins type thing.
Yeah.
With the Joker, I like that they did that to where he was adopted, so you don't know who his parents are. You don't know his 100% origins.
Yeah.
I like that it was... So another theory with it is... So it was... He's the Joker. He's fucked up in the head because his... the mom who adopted him...
Yeah.
Her boyfriend beat him.
Yeah.
And he got head trauma, and that's what gave him the joking, the laughing disorder and everything. The theory being that the Joker we see in this movie is not the Joker.
Okay. I get it.
He's dark, but he doesn't make jokes. He isn't funny, clown, ha-ha.
Yeah.
It's very different than any other Joker.
Yeah.
He's way more serious. Mm-hmm. He laughs when he's awkward, but it's not like him making jokes. It's not stuff he finds funny like the Joker sees. I saw a thing where when he gets hit with the cop car and he gets up top and he starts smiling and laughing, that's when he becomes the Joker. Another giant head trauma to where the other two cops probably fucking died.
Okay.
But when that happens, that's when he finally snaps into the full Joker, and the Joker is born the exact same time Batman is born.
Okay.
Similarities there.
Yeah.
Also,
he's very much older than the Batman. The Batman.
He is, but Bruce...
But that's fine.
But in the,
it's comic books have,
Well, even with that, Robert Pattinson's movies could take place in the fucking 90s.
Yeah. I don't know if this ties in. There is a way
I don't think they do,
in.
But Robert Pattinson movies take place in the 90s. Ben Affleck he is the older Batman. Throughout it all.
You're saying that they're doing Robert Pattinson as a younger Ben Affleck?
Younger Ben Affleck, and this kid is just before Robert Pattinson. And then Joker's dead by the time we see the DCEU and the Ben Affleck Batman.
Do you think this ties in? Because I know Joaquin Phoenix has been very insistent in saying he doesn't want to be in a franchise, and I don't know, Todd Phillips might have even said it's not. You won't see Joaquin Phoenix like in the Pattinson movie.
I think this week though, a report came out where Joaquin Phoenix said he'd be open to a sequel. He said, I didn't think I'd enjoy doing this as much as I did, but
interesting.
Just saying.
I saw a theory that said maybe this guy isn't like the Joker that we know in the Batman movies. Like this joke, so maybe he dies in the car accident or whatever, he gets locked up. This guy inspires who's going to become the actual Joker and fight Batman when the Batman's older.
Which 100% could be the case. I mean, you see a kid who's growing up and he sees all this chaos. I want to be like that guy.
Yeah. So this guy's just the inspiration to the Joker.
And he's one night, or a week or whatever from when he kills those people on the train, where he incites all of this. And this kid that guy's awesome. I want to be like him. And he sees, he's always laughing. Everything should be a joke.
Yeah.
And very much and completely inspired by him. I like that.
That kid is the kid of the Wall Street guys that he killed.
Oh.
How about that? Or the kid of the guy who gave him the gun.
Oh,
wants to be a clown like his dad. Then he sees all this and he's like, oh, got to do this way.
oh.
Maybe it's the midget. Midget's not a nice word. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the political
I'm sorry.
term is.
Little people. That wasn't funny.
That's fine. Little people. We'll go with little people.
What other questions do you have, Ty?
Did the girlfriend and the daughter die? Because he goes there and he does the head signal, like, oh, I'm going to shoot myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot you type thing. You want to kill yourself, so I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
It cuts to him in his apartment, and we see ambulance sirens behind him.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even see the ambulance sirens.
And they are not red and blue. They are very much red and yellow sirens through the window behind him.
I didn't even see that. I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
It's another one they left wide open for you to decide whether he killed them or not. But it looked like ambulance things behind him. And if he shot him, someone called 911, said it sounds like someone's been shot. He's already gone by the time they get there.
Whoa. I'm trying to read about this, some theories now that you brought this up. I didn't even think about that because I've seen something where there's like something about Joker killing 7 people. And I think that would be part of the 7 people if he did do that.
3 people on the train. Girlfriend, daughter.
This is courtesy of
De Niro.
Distractify.com.
And the other clown.
This led to proliferation of fan theories. Some vouch that Joker killed 7 people, including his mother.
Oh, shit. That'd be 8.
Well, his mother, his friend, 3 high-profile bankers, Murray, and the neighbor? Why is it 7 people, though? Is that something in the comics? I don't know this.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I just thought that was nice little... They left it open. But I think he fucking killed him.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Some dark shit.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That was an awkward pause, but I didn't even see those sirens. What else? What else you got for me, Ty?
Now, I said he was side by side with Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Equally good. You had something to say with that. What was it?
I don't know. I don't think he's as good.
As far as being a Joker character?
Yes, I just think this is a different Joker. This isn't the Joker. It's a different character.
My take on it is everyone always says Heath Ledger is the Joker before this movie.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson, or is it Nicholas? One's a golfer, one's an actor. I never get them right.
I think it's Nick.
Either way, that guy has always been the number 2.
Yeah.
Now,
don't leave out the one guy, the voice guy. I keep seeing him high on the rankings.
Mark Hamill. I love Mark Hamill, but we're going to leave him out for this. Because I've put him on my ranking when we talked about it. Jack Nicholson, Nicholas. He's very campy and jokey and much more comic booky.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger is a lot more grounded in reality, but he still does the magic trick with the fucking pencil where, I make it disappear and slam someone's fucking head in. A lot more jokey.
Yeah.
A lot more jokes with it. This one, it wasn't jokey. He didn't make jokes. He wasn't dark. I think Joaquin's performance was better than Heath Ledger's. I think Heath Ledger is a better Joker. I think the performance for this movie, because Heath Ledger's performance, it was great, but he was character 2 in that movie. It was Batman's movie and 1B even. This was, this was Joaquin Phoenix's movie. And the performance he put on, if you remove the Joker from, you remove the Joker name, I think that acting performance is better than Heath Ledger's acting performance. However, I think Heath Ledger's Joker is a mix between the dark Joaquin Phoenix and the way less dark Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Nicholas.
Whichever one.
Nicholas' son.
I think it's a perfect medium to where he is dark and grounded in reality, but not too dark to where he isn't the Joker and he isn't making jokes.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, you're kind of making a case against Heath Ledger just because he wasn't the main guy, which I understand. But if Heath Ledger was the main guy, if we got a Joker movie about Heath Ledger's Joker, not even an origin story, just Heath Ledger's Joker, do you think he could outperform what Joaquin Phoenix did in this movie?
Never know.
Well, we will never know. But I don't know. It just felt, like I said, I've said it a few weeks ago. I spent like an hour just watching all the Joker scenes in the Dark Knight Rises or Dark Knight. So
fucking fantastic.
I'm pretty fresh with it, and I don't know. I just felt like Joaquin Phoenix did a really good job. I just felt like it wasn't the Joker. And it was
And I
the
agree with
Joker,
that.
or it was Arthur Fleck. It wasn't the Joker.
100% agree with that. And that's why if you give me the rankings, I'm putting Heath Ledger above Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
You give me who's going to get an Oscar, I'm giving it to Joaquin Phoenix.
Heath Ledger got an Oscar.
For supporting actor.
Well, he can't win Best Actor if he's a
No, he
supporting
can't.
actor.
But Joaquin Phoenix can.
Well, that's just based on his role, though.
I'm just saying, if you give me both of them side by side, I think the more critically acting performance was Joaquin Phoenix. But I think the best Joker is still Heath Ledger.
Do you think Joaquin Phoenix will get nominated, though?
100%.
I don't know,
This was
man.
fucking amazing.
Seems like the critics haven't liked this movie.
And it's, I mean, maybe, but it's, if they don't like the movie, it's not because of his performance.
Yeah.
To play someone who's so mentally ill as Joaquin Phoenix is in this movie,
In this movie.
in this movie, it's just, it takes a fuck ton of talent to
Yeah.
make it feel like he's fucked up in the head like that.
Yeah.
And to have those awkward moments and those hysterical laughing to where he's in pain laughing,
Yeah.
like that's some dark, gritty shit that it was all him.
I heard something that that scene, like he wasn't like pretending to laugh, like he made himself hysterically laugh. I don't know how true that is, or if I even understood what the person was saying correctly.
It's a method acting.
Like it wasn't a fake, like laugh, like, you know, like just sounding like you're laughing. Like he forced himself one way or another just to like laugh, and that's like how it came out.
I mean, I believe it
Which-
because it was fucking gruesome.
I believe it, but you have to practice that laugh. There's no way that Joaquin
he
Phoenix
practiced it.
so happens to have like a Joker laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no
that
way.
was the auditions, was they just made him laugh, whoever had the best laugh, and they'll just go from there.
Better laugh.
I think Joaquin Phoenix is number 3.
You're putting him 3?
I think Heath Ledger's number 2. I think Jared Leto's number 1.
That's a joke.
That's a joke, man. I'm number 1.
You're the top joker. Who's got the best laugh?
Oh, I don't remember
No, I'm gonna
Heath
give.
Ledger's laugh that much, honestly.
I'm gonna throw Mark Hamill in here.
I'm gonna be honest, Ty, I am not well versed in this category. I can't give you a ranking.
That's fine.
I think Joaquin Phoenix is good.
It was good. It was creepy as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he was the most grounded in
How
reality.
does Mark Hamill's laugh sound?
I cannot do it because he is a legend, and I am not.
Okay. Mark Hamill's the guy who plays in Star Wars, right?
Yes, he's Luke
Skywalker? Okay, that's interesting.
Also Joker.
It's a combo.
One hell of a combo.
You got any more questions for me about
I don't.
the
It
movie?
was a great fucking movie, and I loved it.
I suggest
And-
seeing it, definitely.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's dark.
I honestly was kind of scared. Like, I was on the edge of my seat, but not because of the movie, but because of just... I guess, yeah, I kind of said I don't blame the movie for being inciting violence or whatever, but I was scared in the theater.
When we bought our tickets, we went up to buy our popcorn and shit.
Yeah.
There was like 2 guys that they just hired to do security for that night.
Yeah.
And they were testing shit out. And he's like, oh, I don't think it's working. I'm like, motherfucker, it better be working. Like their little radio things. Didn't like it. Was not
Yeah.
a feel-good moment. They should have done that behind the door. Not right out in the fucking lobby.
Yeah, most definitely. But I suggest it. I suggest it. I do think go into this movie with reasonable expectations. Don't expect a lot of Joker. And understand that this is a character-driven movie that was driven by Joaquin Phoenix. And that maybe it got a little bit too hyped because it was the Joker, but just don't look at it as a Joker movie.
Look at it as a movie.
Just look at it Joaquin Phoenix.
Expect it to be a dark R-rated movie, though. Don't go in expecting a fun, campy movie. Don't expect to bring your middle school kid with you and say, oh, it's fine. I don't think it is. I think it's a dark fucking movie, and expect that.
Yeah,
And you'll love it.
I agree.
Anything else, Jay? It
That'll be it.
was a fun pod and YouTube video.
Yes, it was, Ty.
Be a good friend, everybody.